do get travel link. There we go. Cool. Should now be okay. I have no idea what happened, but I had to restart the computer before it kicked in. But Windows said that there was other things running in the background that were like not even registered, so I don't know what was happening. Okay. Sorry, mistake. I didn't allow to play video from other sources. It's just limited and allowed to play only with link. Right. Okay. We'll take a look at it in a minute. Okay, that's disabled multiplayer. Character Manny multiplayer. We're definitely using the correct character. Auto possess. Could that be the problem? Player 0 doesn't really matter, does it? Let's have a look. Still the same. But if we go to game mode, we change our game mode to Manny. We load in and we do the same thing. So we got the main character sorted. So it's down to, I don't know why we're getting this now. Something to do with Manny. That did it. Multiplayer, character, auto possess player, set that to 0. But then as soon as we stop, it completely messes up. Okay, that does one. I've got another character over there. God, I hate multiplayer. Player. Controller, choose. Says it. Helps this when you just a client. You should send possess command to server and run it for needed client from server 2 when you're not showing your screen. Oh, sorry guys. There we go. You shouldn't have any character in the scene. You spawn it when loading on level only. That's what we're doing. We're only spawning the character in. So it's handled by the game mode. So it's handled project. Yeah, it's difficult to explain as well. Yeah, game mode, character. Like top left, we're moving around, but we're not. We don't have any hands or anything now. Character controller. Choose player. So we're only getting the two of them now. Okay. Can see it. Oh, I can do it. Oh, wait, we automatically, we reloaded the game. What? Why did it reload? Did I fall off and hit the collision box or something? Oh. You have an issue you're controlling and the second one too. It's because I switched. So I can do the first screen. And then I can see the character down there. And then I can take the one on the top right. And take control of them, I think. Maybe not. Oh, why did it restart the freaking level? What's going on? Oh. God, I hate this so much. That one's spawning at 0, 0. It's not even using these. But I am technically doing both. How the hell am I doing? How the hell is that even a thing? What? I hate it. God, I really do hate dealing with multiplayer. Like, I'm not a network specialist. I don't fully understand it. Oh. Let's do a build and see what happens when we load another level from other headsets. See if it's local to the PC that's causing the issue, or if it's overall on the headset. Imagine how I feel when I'm implementing it for a racing game. God, I wouldn't even know what to start. There's some good multiplayer documentation online, but overall, it's such an intense read that I don't have enough time in the day to just sit down and read it, which does suck. But I'm also not that interested in multiplayer networking to begin with. Like a rough breakdown of what it does and how it works would be good. Like good knowledge to have. But overall, I don't need to go into depth with it. I'm using custom solution from Unreal's one. So it's not bad if you know how to do it. I don't need a full custom solution. I just need to replicate player position, the camera, the hands, and then have it work when you're on two different devices and go from there. Because nobody ever has two headsets connected to the same PC. So it just doesn't make any sense to do that, which is why testing this seems to be so bloody difficult. Because I don't know the problems with the engine or with the headsets trying to control two with one character, or one headset with two characters, if that makes sense. Oh, oh well. It's really great for Steam. Yeah, like if I can get this working, it'll be fantastic for a lot of people. A lot of people are using the template already, and then being able to offer it with a multiplayer replication setup that's not a full custom built solution. So that way, if somebody's a beginner and they want to do like an arc-based project, they've got the groundworks to start there, would be handy. Okay, so we've got request build. Install that one. So that's installing to the Quest 3. We're then going to plug the Quest Pro into the PC and connect this one up and set this to that. Now, do link. Okay, and then we can connect this. And hopefully we should connect to it. Oh. Why did that not do it straight away? There we go. Okay, the menu is all messed up. There we go, now I can see. Create session on this PC, and then we spawn in. Now, we can do the same thing on this one. To then join session. We can't even join a session. We can create a session on this headset. What does it say? Failed. Am I on the same network? Okay. Create a session from the PC. And then we go into it. We spawn around like that. Like in this headset, we go in. We should still be on the same Wi-Fi network. Change that to the same Wi-Fi network. And then we try again. Nothing happens. Shouldn't take very long to join the sessions, should it? BG, did you actually get both headsets working in multiplayer template you had open? No. We're still trying to get it sorted. Stixel, hey John, I have implemented Epic Online subsystem with no issues. I might have to check it out. Because the thing is, we're just trying to join the session and replicate the player, so we don't need anything over the top right now. But it's figuring out why we can't get it to work to begin with. I also really hate using two different bloody headsets. It also says my Quest 3 battery is going to die soon, which is an absolute nightmare. I used EIK plugin, open source. Cool. Cool, I'll have to check it out. But right now, I'm just trying to get these to work. Quest battery's low, I know. So if I jump in, we get both of them. Oh my god. Why does it keep messing up the camera? You can't see it, but the headset, it looks absolutely horrific. There we go. That one's spawning at 000 again. And it just keeps randomly reloading. Why are you reloading? Oh. Why? There's no logic in here to reset the player. Oh, is it 000? Is it falling? We can't see it. I think that might be it. So go over here and then we kick it in again. Yeah, that character is falling. But right here, we're controlling both of them with the same controller. So why is that even a thing? Oh, I don't know enough. You start adding nodes just to see what's going to happen. That's pretty much where we're at. Like we're technically controlling two different characters at the same time. What have I missed? I have chosen for that. What is this plugin made for? It's like an update for default one. Does work to make the default kit work with multi. Yeah, I'm trying to get the GDXR template to work with multiplayer, which will be really nice. But as I've said in the past, I don't know enough about multiplayer to do it correctly. So this is like a cloned version of the project that we can just mess around with and see what we can get going. It's interesting to know what's the benefit of this plugin that you mentioned. Okay, GDXR isn't a plugin, so I'll just clarify that because I know you guys are talking about something else, but I don't want people to think that this is a plugin because it's not. Get a stuffed animal and put this second headset on, speed up iteration. Works 80% of the time. Oh god, that would be a nightmare. I just keep falling over. Stixel, oh yeah, okay, it's a router for those EOA spaced to abstract some of the complex tasks. I bolted it into GDXR and it works with 0 mods. Damn. Okay. What? See, that's what I was hoping for. That's what I was hoping people would do, is just get something else to plug it in and then make it work. I didn't want to spend time doing multiplayer on it. Because there's so many different multiplayer subsystems that I don't know what somebody wants to focus on. So the idea was if I could just replicate the character and go from there, then we'll be fine. But part of me really doesn't want to add multiplayer to it because it's going to be too complex for new people starting out. Like it's just I don't want to add it in, but I kind of wanted to play around with multiplayer to see if we could get it in, which is why I made a new character. BG, have you got 2 player starting level? We do, but it doesn't seem to be working correctly. They just seem to be loading in one at a time. I did change the auto receive player. I don't know if that makes a difference. But one of them always in the top left, the second player, always seems to start at 000. Sticks, I'll link it in the Discord. Cool. If you at me once you've done it. This is one of those brain scratches where I'm like, it would be cool to understand how it works and how we can set that up. But getting there when you've got no idea of what you're doing is just, it absolutely sucks. Because if I was going to do multiplayer, I would use a marketplace plugin. There was a multiplayer one in there, which is like £100, and apparently you just add a component to the blueprints that you want to replicate, and it just does it all for you. Discord general. Okay, cool. All right, we'll come back to that one in a minute. EOS integration bundle. I want people to be able to do it the best way possible, and I can't provide that. What was the plugin called? EOS integration kit. How can anybody find anything on this? Like, this is going to be way better than anything I can make. Well, that sounds good enough if you're able to just replicate and make each other interaction one object to another. Victory. Yeah, you can still do that, but the idea is to make it as performant as possible. And networking is not something I know how to work with enough to make it suitable for mobile VR, because that is the main platform that I'm going for anyway. Even with this, and no matter what I do or add in, a plugin like this is going to offer you so much more control than what I can do. Which is why I always had the initial idea, like, build the template from the ground up with it in mind. So we got the character controller, and then we got the game mode and the player possession, that kind of stuff. But then you can use something like this, like an external one, because there used to be a replication, like a replication tool built in, or that you could download that I was going to use. Because it also depends on the platform. Like if you're targeting Steam, you could use SteamOS, the Steam Online subsystem, or you can use the Meta Online subsystem, or EOS. There's just so many. I didn't want to lock it down. But yeah, I can go to the GitHub on here and then download it from there. But yeah. It says I'm playing CSGO. Why would it say I'm playing CSGO? What? I called it back to multiplayer. Why would it say I'm playing CSGO? It doesn't. It shouldn't have anything in there. I have no idea why it would say CSGO. Yeah, it's just called like back to multiplayer. Like what's like I don't know why it would be showing up. Oh well, might get some new views. Stixel, ping me on Discord if you have any questions. I will. I will. I'd like to take a look at this and see if I can get it built in. Even if it's just for me to play around with it and then go from there. But I am genuinely confused why this player isn't nice. Someone called John's gonna get a ping. Do you need multiple instances of the player controller in the level? It should create one. The player controller is created when the player starts. On the live description. What's going on? Like literally, there's nothing there. Like I don't have anything filled in, so I don't know what it's doing. It might default to something, but nothing's set. So we might just have to deal with it. If you're just watching things, you can check my demo. I wasn't just watching things. I was going to go back to work, but okay. It looks good. I really don't know what else to say. I just really dislike hand tracking. It looks really nice. But if they're physics based, you got to be careful on performance because hand tracking already has, well, not hand tracking, pass through has an overhead, so you'd have to keep track of performance with those. Like if you're not interacting with it, put it to sleep. So you'll have to go from there. But it is really good. I just don't. My problem is I just don't like hand tracking. I feel like it takes so much away from what you can do with VR. Like, imagine how much time you would have saved if you could just use your controllers to move around. Like, don't get me wrong, it does look really good. It is quite nice as well. But I think I'm just biased against hand tracking. Like, it's smooth as all hell. Like, it is fantastic. But that movement is just, it takes so long for you to get somewhere. It just bugs me. It adds so much more time on the gameplay, but it is very nice. I will say that is very nice. I just don't think I'm the right audience for it. But yeah, is that a different one? Yeah. I spent 3 days on it, and it's my first VR project. Nice. It was really good, especially for 3 days. Experience with other projects. That's all you really need. Once you got the experience of the other projects, you can typically dive in and just get started. As long as you know how to deal with motion controllers and grabbing and all that kind of stuff, should be fine. Um, VR character controller object reference. Why would I have to pass that back in? Hmm. I was wondering whether I could just plug that straight into there. Don't even know what I'm doing. Um, Reflag character controller replication. Player controller exists only on server for player controlled pawns and on their own clients, but not on remote client machines that don't own the pawns. Right. Okay. I'm no expert, but I've been dealing with UFO multiplayer for a while. When a client connects to a server, there are two player controllers that exist: the client version and the server version. Both run the same code, and the flow that the code can be controlled using authority switches. One thing to keep in mind is replication means communication from server to client. If a client tries to replicate something, it will do nothing. So on actor, if you check replicates in the class defaults, this means if the actor spawns or is destroyed on the server, it will spawn and destroy for each connected client as well. If you check replicate movement, we've done that. I believe all the built-in client/server communications that existed, you'll need to code the rest yourself. Okay. Like, this is what I'm confused about. We've got a character that spawns in through the game mode here. and then it should just get its own class. Um, we'll get um, what? Oh, it's not controller, right? Um, I just see how many games is available for regular joysticks and how much for hand tracking. It's mainly because of the limitations for it. Like moving around with hand tracking is very difficult to do. So using the controller gives you more freedom. I think it's one of the downsides to the Apple Vision Pro and why it's failing so much is because there's no controllers, which means you can't build any games more than freaking oh, what's it called? The one where you cut stuff, Fruit Ninja. Like you're very restricted for what you can do interaction wise. So I decided to make a game like a tech demo to make it a bit more popular. That makes sense. Make it look really good if you can. How the hell? Like how do I just like that's authority means runs on server, isn't it? I'm just doing stuff now to see what happens. But there's two players over there now. That's a little bit better. What? Hmm. think I need to do something with this switch. If I do this, it doesn't do anything. Is that the problem? I'm just telling all of them to get 0. Whoa. That would make sense. Current controller. Yeah, character controller. Choose pawn. That's got character class. But then in here, right, we're saying that's the target. Current player. Hmm. Um, Logan, if this multiplayer capability becomes part of your UVRT template, would the update be available for people who already purchased the template? Yeah, yeah, you'll be able to download it. I'm not too sure if it's going to be in there though, because like we discussed in the chat earlier, it's probably more reliable for you to use something that's a lot more fleshed out. But right now, I just want to see if I can figure out this portion and see why it's not working as more like a personal test. Game mode, character controller. That's probably the problem. Character self. So we go from the player to this. Yes. Jeez. Phone's going off. What's going on? Chico, multiplayer is something I'd learn about implementing. Good idea for doing these streams. I don't know what I'm doing. That's the embarrassing part, like I said earlier. Like, I'm just fumbling my way through, trying to figure out what's going on. But I've got a feeling that I might not be getting the correct character controller, which is why I'm trying to do this now. But we don't even need character controller. We just need to point at the right one. VR game mode. Maybe that? Choose pawn. VR character controller object. Oh, it's because it's... That's what I had. I had that. And I keep wondering whether this is the right one from here. That's the wrong headset. Like, we're still moving both of them. Cool, so we're gonna have a nice stream. I need to work. Don't blame you. No worries, thanks for dropping by. Logan, thanks man, love your stuff. Thank you. I'll try and get some more tutorials out soon. Get class from self, that's fine. The VR game mode creates a character based on the number spawned. Isn't it? That gets passed through. And then it goes from there to the character controller to say, okay, we're possessing it over the network. If you get this working or not, it's still cool you're looking at it. I enjoy looking at it, I just get frustrated with it. Like, I've got around an hour left before I gotta go get my daughter. So we'll try and get this done. But the worst thing is I don't know who to ask. Like I generally don't know who to ask to figure out what's going on with this. We've got one character we're controlling, but other than that, possessors. Choose from pawn. That's from here. It goes through the server. And then we get actor of class. Are we just getting the one actor of class? Is that the problem? I couldn't even read that. Server. We're not even getting a client character controller, are we? That happened both on the server. Hmm. One of the other tutorial YouTubers has decided to switch to Godot. I'll learn more about you to give it a try. Give it a try at Godot. I've not even tried Unity. I left Unity years ago. I tried Unity, but the app wasn't fun. Or not? No. Unity's like go here and download this from the marketplace and then build your game and then go here and buy this from the marketplace. It feels like Unity has nothing inside of it. You just have to use other people's stuff, which is what kind of bugged me about it. Um, we just keep getting the same thing run on server. Surely this should run. There should be one on the server and one on the client. Server. It's just loading two of them to the server. Why would they load on the server? Why? I'm thinking about that the correct way, aren't I? Like it should have a server and a client. Oh, I think Unreal's crashed again. Yep, I know. Refresh. The character controller spawns the player that we want, and then in there it actually fires all of it. So let's try that. I don't know if it's going to work. Nope. That didn't go well. OBS. I just realized you guys have no music. We had music on before. Come on. Oh. We have you, we don't need music. I'm not saying anything though. I'm so just like logged into whatever I'm making up. Character controller. So we change this around. So the character controller spawns in. That doesn't seem right. Because it's the character that spawns in. The character spawns in, and then what happens if I do that as none? Nope. It's just not doing anything. So by default, the game mode loads in character Manny. At the same time, it loads in the VR character controller. That character controller class needs to take possession of Manny. Ooh, pardon me. So on begin play, we cast to the game mode, or we send the information to the game mode through current player character, which we've got here. BBVR character money multiplayer objects. Money multiplayer object reference. So we do that. So the character, we say self. So the character, game mode spawns the character. It also spawns a character controller. So then in the the player, we tell the character controller 0. Yeah, get controller. Wait there, controller. We don't know what the controller is. We're not spawning that in. So the player says, hey game mode, this is us. And we are BP character controller. And he spawns. We tell the current player in the game mode who that character actor is. That's here, so it passes through and says, okay, check that we are the VR character controller. That's not right. We're getting a character. So that as the currently that's basically the current character. Character controller. And we do game mode in here. And then we pass that through. So get current player. Get current player. Game mode. Current controller. Current controller, so the character controller. Game mode. Is the problem because I'm passing it to the game mode? Only one game mode exists, doesn't it? mode. Let me say current controller. So how do we say, okay, once those have been set, we send that through to the character controller. Character controller self, it doesn't need that. Oh. I could... This is the game mode. How do I get a specific character controller? Get player controller. Yeah, character controller. Choose pawn. And then we do it that way. So game mode spawns in. Game mode spawns in. That creates a player and a character controller class. The player tells the game mode who we are. We've got here, and we saw a reference to it. It then casts to the VR character controller, which we're getting from player controller. Then says go through and choose the pawn. So when we get to the character controller and we choose pawn, we go through and we replicate it to self. Server. Did it say client? No, I'm getting two of them again. Why can't I open the bloody output log? There we go. What the hell? I hate this. I usually take a break when I'm stuck and plan to fresh start the next day. Still, even with very small progress, take your time on this. It's good enough you can figure this out. It'd be great to know. I don't know what the hell's going on with it. I feel like I'm spawning two of the same characters on the same machine, and then the character controller is just taking both of them. But logically, that doesn't seem to make sense to me. So I'm just kind of like, feel like I'm going around in circles. JLG, how is this local multiplayer or online? It should be both, but we can't get the character to replicate, and that's the problem. Then begin play. Tell the game mode here we are. It's the game mode current player. Fires this current player. Get player control. I don't know if this is right. server client. Why did that work but the other one doesn't? Nope. Pause. Okay, I've got that, but no movement. Okay. There's a character on the right spot now. Have we got some kind of race condition? The character in front of me. Okay. Character Manny. Current player to game mode. Current player. Character controller. That 25 watts. Still up there. Character spawns in. Oh. current player in the game mode. We go through and choose the pawn from the class. And then we go through here and we possess it. Actually, print string is pretty handy there because it tells me whether I'm on the right one. We get 2 servers. All character controller logic starts. That's going to be bad. Player spawns, so we get the game mode instead of reference to self. It would say that is the player that is spawned, and we've got it. Choose. I don't know if this is getting the correct one. Just run server twice. Which makes me think that's getting the wrong one. Gameplay has to be our game mode. And then promote a variable target. Self. I know I shouldn't have to have a delay in here, but put it in just to see what happens. Server. Why does the server fire twice? That's what I don't understand. server twice. This is that whole learning a million different ways to not do the correct way. I don't understand how we're not getting is locally controlled. Server. We're just getting server twice. Server boots up twice. I don't know how I got it to do client before. Got Vanek down, previous stream ended. Yeah, we had some technical issues, so I had to restart the computer. Sorry about it again, when AFK. No worries. What are we doing? We're trying to do some multiplayer, which is being a little bit of a nightmare. Two seconds, guys. Oh, yeah, multiplayer's a pain in the ass. It really is. I feel like we've just been going around in circles. We're just getting the same thing on the server twice. How do we tell it? Like, has authority? By the way, did you push the new update? I've uploaded it, so just pretty much gotta wait for Fab. They normally take a day or two when it's midweek, so it shouldn't be too bad. Server. Oh, it got... Why? Hold on. so confused. Only fired once. And possessed. Oh, GLG, I really admire your skill level and persistence to build for your knowledge alone. I'm just wondering how come you don't very often check the tutorials, or possibly how Epic did it through Lyra. Lyra is way overcomplicated. So the idea with this is that the template is designed for beginners, and those get started with Unreal. So we don't want to add stuff like EOS on top of it, because with VR you've got so many different platforms as well. So you've got Meta, EOS, the Vive have their own online subsystem, Pico have their own online subsystem. So I don't want to lock people down to it. So with Lyra, that's how they're doing it, and they do a lot of heavy C++. It's not really done with multiplayer. However, they do have the project, where is it? The collab viewer, which we took a look at earlier today, which does have Blueprint multiplayer set up, and that's kind of what we're working with slightly, but it's just kind of making sure that the blueprint stays simple enough that a beginner can have some form of replication in it, so the character and the hands maybe, and go from there without overcomplicating it too much. But I think at this point it's just playing around and see if I can understand what the hell's going on. So I just can't link it together. Like in my head, I can't piece together what the hell's happening. I know the logic flow order is working, but I don't know why it's not doing it on the server or locally controlled. So So on begin play, this one goes through to the hand menu, then sets a bunch of information in there. But you can see that it's pretty heavy already, the spawn for this one. But if we go to VR, we got VR on, which is loaded in. I think this one's set up the same way we have it. So disabled, placed in worlds, automatically disabled. So I do typically take a look at the other projects, but when you're starting out with something like this, it does help to have an idea of how it already works. And with multiplayer, I'm just so lost with it. I don't even pretend to understand and know what's going on with it. Like, we're doing it twice on the server. We have two characters, but they're both spawning on the server. The gameplay is locally controlled. Okay, let's try this. So this is player controller in here. Event begin play. Is local controller, so we can do that, and that goes through to our default stuff. But this is like jumping into the deep end of blueprints. Client, right. Okay. And then it goes through in here, and it tells the menu. It tells the hand menu on the ArcViz one what our class is. So we could do character controller or which character to spawn. So this case, so it goes from the player controller to the hand menu to the game mode. Is it game mode? VR button. Okay. Player controller tells it which one to take control of. Okay. But it then spawns it in. We already have a character that's spawned. why are you caring about it? You're not even in use. Right. Yeah. Begin play. Did my headset crash or has it died? Disconnected. It's on 7% battery, which is not good. It runs on server once now. It's got begin play and then has event possessed. Event possessed then does so event let's be hard to run on owning client reliable. That one in there, and then from here HMD is pretty much set up. Server. Oh my god. Keeps disconnecting me. Still controlling two of them. Okay, that's fine. Oh, event graph goes through, does the normal stuffs. Which is all okay. That's replicated to a point. Game mode. Where is the bloody game mode? Like their logic, this logic isn't in the game mode. in the player controller. But they spawn a character in. When we can play it is locally controlled. Let's do the main menu. And choose pawn. It's brought in. Nothing in the game mode, that's fine. But in here we need a reference to the player that we want to take control of. Change. Right, let's do what we've got in here. Okay. Through locally controlled. And menu, it would be. Okay. Server possess pawn. And the class. Money multiplayer class reference. Check that. 100 up in the air. Okay. Do that and then choose one, please. So has it connected? Don't begin play. We spawn a character in. Character. Oh, we're passing that through. We need that. So I don't know if I can put this at the very end. Then the server client. Alright, give us a thing, guys. I'm gonna make a call. Okay, I'm back. Well, the question is, was that a long enough break for me to get this sorted? I don't think so. All of this needs to fire after we have possessed the character. So all of this needs to fire beforehand. Spawn actor feels so wrong to be doing. But I'm not too sure why I'm getting hello multiple times now. Okay. They're possessed. Character possessed twice, character possessed 3 times. What? Something to do with his spawn? We need to get one that's loaded in. We spawn it in. Always spawning no collisions. That's fine. Spawn and possess character. Client. It's happening so many times. That's nuts. And doesn't make a difference. We're not using anything in the game mode anymore. That's fine. Game mode is just spawning the character and the controller. Server. Character possessed. This one. If it's being possessed, then we should be able to just get get the character controller. Let's do the character controller. And then do choose pawn. There, but it needs to be replicated, doesn't it? So still fires 4 times. I've got no idea why it's firing 4 times. So confusing. Why did that look like it was about to work? But then nothing. Oh. Event begin play and the character that spawned in. And string. Character possessed. It's a bunch of them. Character possessed. So we want to get the server on here. And string. Possessed server. So that's two of them. Is locally controlled. Hmm. server and the client are getting the same character. So do we need, is that what we need to do? We need to spawn a character on the client and the... Is that why we need to do it that way? Server still fires 3 times. That begin play. Oh. What does it say? It wasn't an infinite loop. And the headset just died. Ow. I always forget how heavy this Quest Pro is. What's just happening on the server? Don't get why client just fires once. This should do the client. This it 3 times. Don't know what that is. Okay. Someone's gonna be watching this afterwards and being like, "You just gotta do this. Just gotta do this." All right. Let's see if we can get it to spawn 2 characters. Manny 2 and then client 1. So we're getting a controller 1 and a controller 2. So we're spawning those in. But how do we make sure that they're going to the correct one? Nope. Character starts, it has its own controller which we attach to, but we're spawning one in. We then begin play. Destroy player actor. And then after we've destroyed the player character, we then spawn a new one. And then we possess that. Destroy and this in there. If we delay, it gives us enough time to then remove the actor, or at least spawn it in and possess it. Who would have thought this would have been so difficult to do? Once the player's possessed, then we do everything we need to do, which is fine, and that includes fade in, which is all okay. Run server maybe for this. Only on possessed do we do all of that. Okay. Character controller loads in. We wait 1 minute. Oh, we can actually see the horses up in the top left one. That's new. Hello, hello, I'm possessed. I don't see why we need to possess twice. Controller. It's not even replicating anything at this point, is it? trouble getting in. Alright everyone, I don't think there's many people left in the stream because I've been so incredibly boring. But I'm going to have to go because my daughter's going to be dropped off in a moment. So I will see you all later on, and the update should be out. Once it is, I'll let everybody know.